So welcome back to Python Academy. Let's start the speech and tweet session where step by step what we are going to do has been explained here. So before jumping into it, let me introduce myself. Myself Anup Jain Kelkar and nearly 18 years of experience working in the field of DBA, Oracle, SQL Server. Was working in TCS in the Mumbai and then California. Came back here in my hometown Nagpur and started my own academy, Anup Kelkar's Python Academy. I have done my BTech and MTech in computer science from VNIT. Previously it was VRC. So now it has changed to VNIT. So I have done my MTech here also in computer science. So thanks all of you for joining. Specifically, I will say Matoshri Engineering College for all the students giving so good response. So now we are going to start with the actual topic. So basically, yes, she says who cares, right? We will concentrate on the topic. So basically, what is the speech recognition is, that is the first step we are going to see. On that, what are the Python libraries to listen and recognize sentences? Because there are many libraries available. One of them we will try to use, which will the same thing which I have said in the previous video, speech recognition, which is also a mandatory for you to read that or to listen that, because there will be a question on this also. Once that is done, the third part will be how Twitter API integration works. We have divided this into three parts. So we have the speech recognition first, then the Python libraries for the speech recognition, doing a code of that. Then we have the Python API and Twitter integration, the keys generation, then doing the code of that. And then all these things we will combine. So have a complete project. This can be your small project also, since you are in third year or final year. Then we will see what are the libraries available for API integration, and then we will combine with the live demo session. Okay, so that is the way I have decided to go with. Any question in between, you can just put in. As I said, the window is open, or you can put in into the YouTube channel also if you don't have the access to that. Okay, so both the things are open for you. So let's go ahead with the first thing, how basically the speech recognition works. So modern speech recognition can recognize speech from multiple speakers and have enormous vocabularies in numerous languages, because speech recognition is not only focused on English. You have so many languages. In India only we have so many. We have the Telugu, Marathi, Tamil, and then even Hindi also have numerous dialect, like Bihari it will be different, from Haryanvi it will be different. So how to identify that thing and then divide it, convert it into text is a big task. Okay, and or probably for English, French, and then for German, a lot of things has been already done. But for our Indian language, a lot of research is still going on. So that is also a good field if you are thinking in the future to go for the MTech or go for the other research work. You can also contribute for the Indian language. So that will be also a great thing, because it is a big and it is complicated also. You also know. Even a single language, like you also will have, like in here Maharashtra, Marathi also have different dialect. Okay, so Nagpurian Marathi is different, Mumbai Marathi is different. In Telugu also, like Sima Andhra, it will be different, whereas Telangana, Hyderabadi Telugu will be different, and that is the case. Okay, so how to identify the tone and all that thing, that is also necessary. So let us see how it is done actually in a simple way. So obviously we speak something, and in any word it will be taken by the microphone. So that is basically a physical sound which we make. Whatever we say is a physical sound. It is the waves which will be captured by a microphone, obviously, and will be converted into some of the electrical signal. So basically, when we record directly, it is just the electric signal we are recording, and that's why we can play it at anyway. Okay, so that is the basic thing happens when we generally go with. Whereas once we have electric signal, we need to convert that into digital data, and that is the where the speech recognition comes into the picture. So if we can convert it into the digital data, we can convert it into the text also, and it is a big thing. Means it is not as easy. If you see, let's I am speaking and everything, even in our project also we will have a small sentences, because that is able to be converted. If I start speaking, it will not be able to detect it correctly in many cases. And that happens. Even you see the Alexa and all this Google Play and all these things. There also small sentence you throw and Alexa will capture and do accordingly. Okay, so that is the case. It is happening. Okay, and that is the way the speech recognition going to work. Now, talking about the speech recognition, the modern speech recognition system uses a hidden Markov model. A specific name, you should always remember HMM, a short form. Now, this hidden Markov model is actually a kind of neural network which works with multiple neurons, or you can say perceptron. Okay, so again, we will not go into the theoretical part, but that is the main crux, main idea behind that, how to utilize that. So looking at that, how to utilize this thing, we can go ahead with the all the conversion part, which we will go step by step, which we will start one by one, and then we will start converting them. So it is again, as I said, it has to be trained first, means you provide lot of data to them. Accordingly, the machine learning algorithm which behind HMM, which we am saying hidden Markov model, will start thinking on that, how to work on that. And once it is done, then only it will start utilizing how the things can happen one by one. Okay, so that is again a complicated task done by HMM, that is hidden Markov model. So this approach works on assumption that a speech signal, which we are speaking anything, when viewed on a short enough time scale, say 10 milliseconds, can be reasonably approximated as a stationary process. So if I divide a small speech into number of divisions, that small stuff can be taken as a time scale and can be reasonably approximated as a stationary process. Now, in actual signal is a continuous thing, but we are reasonably taking it as a time frame, and that is the process in which statistical properties do not change over time. Because once we fix that thing, then only we can say yes, I can identify this stuff, and when I identify multiple physical things, we will have a word for that also. Then I can combine this whole thing together and I will compare with anything which I already know. So if I compare it, I will get the idea, okay, this word is this word, and I will convert into the text. So that is the way the process works. So in typical HMM, the speech signal is divided into 10 millisecond fragments. Okay, so that is a generalized fragment statement. So how it the step-by-step process works. So the first word you should remember is a septrum, CEPSTRUM. So what is this septrum is? So the speech signal is divided into 10 millisecond fragments. The power spectrum of each fragment which we are dividing is mapped to a vector of real numbers known as septral. That is the septral coefficient. And there are a lot of septral coefficients already generated. Okay, so all these generated septral will be used to compare what is already known. Okay, so that is the way the stuff goes step by step. It is not directly you jump on that, it has to be processed in that way, and that is the only way you can go with that. So that is the first step you generally perform when you start the speech recognition in actual, and it is done already, means the libraries are there. What we have to do, how we can utilize that, that is the main thing we have to see. So once we do this, the spectral, the next thing comes into the picture is phonemes. So this phonemes is the groups of vectors are matched to one or more phonemes. That is a fundamental unit of speech. So these phonemes are the, it is phonemes, or you call, or the fundamental unit are the small not word but the division of word, you can say. And this calculation requires training, since the sound of a phoneme varies from speaker to speaker, and that's I said, the dialects, the language, all things are separate for each one. Even I am speaking may be different from any other one person speaking, because there is a division and that happens. So that will be always there. Okay. So if that is the case, the speech is divided into very small physical things combined together, and then the phonemes is used. Once we do that, we actually go with the algorithm. So the spatial algorithm is then applied to determine the most likely word or words that produce the given sequence of phonemes. So the phonemes, or I can say it sounds like that. Okay, when we say it sounds like that, okay, is that that thing you are saying? Okay, so that is the way the algorithm also works. So this word, say hello, hello sounds like hello, I have. And we can combine saying yes, it has nearly 80% compatibility. Let us say this is hello, and then I will print it as a hello. So that produces the given sequence of phonemes, and ANN are used. ANN stands for artificial neural network. So that is also one of the important things used for this purpose, to simplify the speech signal using techniques for feature transformation and dimensional reduction. Because before H&M recognition works, these things has to be applied in between, because you cannot have very large words in a single go. Whatever is required, whatever is available, that you fetch and start using that. That is the way we can proceed with. And that is the way the three steps which we have called the spectrum, then the phonemes and the application of algorithm works hand in hand, one by one, to give you the actual output. And that is the way you understand, okay, the things are going in this fashion or in this process. Okay, so that is the way the things will work. Once that happens, what are the next thing we do? So this is the basic understanding about how the speech recognition can work. If I want to know more detail about that, lot of good documents are available, libraries are available, which you can go with them. Now the things comes what we are going to use for that. And fortunately, or you can say, as I said, you should go through with one old video. The same thing we are going to use here also. So as a Python programmer, we don't have to worry about any of this. Several speech recognition services are available for us to use. Which are they? These are here. So API AI, Assembly AI, these are all the popular ones. Okay, you do remember all of them, because any of them you can use with some different version. Obviously, everyone will have its own functions to work on, but that is the way we can go with this API or Assembly or Google Cloud Speech. That is also famous. The one which we are going to use is speech recognition. That is also a very simple one which we will directly use. Western, that is developed by IBM itself, that is also available. Wheat is also there. So many good things are available to work on. Each one has good documentation. You just search it and you will find out a proper documentation on all the packages. Some of them may be popular for some of the particular purpose. Some of them may be universal. You can use anywhere, and all depends on how technically difficult to write inside that or technically easy to digest it. It depends on person to person and how you are going to utilize that. So all these packages are already there, which you can utilize as per your need. Okay, so these are the Python libraries. As I said, you do remember the names also, because they are also very important, can be used in any way, in any fashion, on this or that, whatever way you can go. Okay, so that will always be there. Now using all of this package is not possible for our session. We are going to with speech recognition. That is the main thing we will do. So while doing this speech recognition, what are the good qualities about that? So recognizing speech requires audio input, obviously, and speech recognition makes retrieving this input easy. Instead of having to build scripts for accessing microphones and processing audio files from the scratch, speech recognition will have you up and running in just a few minutes. You don't have to integrate your mic with this and that. There are specific one two libraries which I will show in the code. You just download, have attachment, import it, and done. Your mic is going to use this speech recognition. So whenever you say any word, it will be identified. It will be identified, and it will start printing also, which also I will show. So that is the way the Python libraries speech recognition is basically works. So that is the best thing. The speech recognition library acts as a wrapper for several popular speech APIs and is thus extremely flexible. So many speech recognition APIs use this method or this package for analysis or for capturing whatever the user are saying. So that is also a very wonderful thing. You also can easily use this for any other purpose. Means here we are going to talk about speech to tweet, but in future, if you want a mobile app saying where whatever you say it automatically captures, or a web application you want to create where you say it, it will serve that atom. Okay, so there are numerous things you can think of. Okay, this can be used in this way, that way, and that is also the good thing. Okay, so that is the way the speech recognition actually works. Okay, so that is the plus point of speech recognition. The speech recognition library acts as a wrapper for several popular speech API. One of these is the Google Web Speech API. Do remember, the Google itself provides a web speech API, which is, I can say, a bit complicated to implement. But the good thing is, in speech recognition package, which we are going to use, this is automatically hard coded. Okay, you don't have to have Google account and fetch this stuff. It is already hard coded in this, so that automatically the speech recognition listens whatever you say, and once it knows, it will use this Google Web Speech API to convert it into the text. The good thing here is, since the Google continuously updates its every data with the new things, the latest one always will be captured correctly. It is not some old file which is in my machine, only for that it will work. No, it will work for all the things which are available, and that will also a good thing. That means one can get off once the feed without having to sign up for the service. Okay, because it is again a public and paid service, and you can utilize as per the your need which one you want to go with. Okay, so that is also a best thing. Those who are joining late, do remember, if you are not able to join in, because here is the limit, you have to go with the our channel Anup Kelkar's Python Academy. Madam has already sent a link to that. Okay, and do subscribe that channel. You are going to have a lot of videos in the future also. Okay, so that is still going on. So that is a good thing. So do subscribe the channel also. Coming back to the our PPT, which we are talking about the Python libraries, is speech recognition. Once we do with this, the speech recognition, we will have the code on that also, how to go ahead with that. Then we will jump on to the Twitter API integration. So now this Twitter API has to be gone through step by step. Okay, so it has lot of steps now they have added. Just as I said, last week they have updated whole developer forum. So even I have to change my PPTs and all that thing. But still, that is the way it is done. So if you want to go with me parallelly in this session only for API integration or the keys integration, I will suggest you create the Twitter account if it is not there with you, and do have your email and your mobile ID valid. Okay, or it has to be activated. So I will just show you two more steps, and I will give you 2-3 minutes also, so that you can make sure everything is there. So that what will happen in actual, when I complete my session, at the same time you will also have your keys and actual tweets. You can fetch it, or you can just speak and your tweets will be available on Twitter. Okay, so that also I will give the time for that. So before jumping into the why I have selected API for the Twitter only, why not other? Yes, obviously I can do with the Google, Facebook, everything. So why Twitter? So APIs are set of requirements that govern how one application can talk to another. That is obviously. On the web, APIs make it possible for big services like Google Maps, Facebook, Twitter to let other apps piggyback on their offering. So what this means? Where this API actually used means why there is so few about that. So if you see some of the apps which currently in the market, maybe some food app you say, let's see, Zomato is there, or you have Food Panda and so many things. Now in this app, whenever you purchase something, you will find out there will be a person on the bike or something which will be shown on one map. And on that map, what happens? That person will start moving in one direction. Okay, so that is the way the things happen. Now, if you think if Zomato itself have its map structure, every time it goes to new city, it has to create that structure and lot of development costs it will happen. Instead of that, what they will do, they will use the Google Maps directly just by paying them some amount for that API integration. So what happens, instead of investing money in that, it is always good to go with this one which is already available. So if I go with that one, what will happen? I don't have to invest money in that map creation or all stuff. It is already done, and that is also public and private. Like in Twitter, which we are going to use, it is a public one which we will use, but it has the limitation. Means how much tweet I can fetch or how much I can update. But if I pay something, I have more limit, because obviously Zomato or something will have to be have more limit. So many persons are buying different stuff, so the limit has to be high. It cannot be low. Okay, so that is the way the Google Map will be used by Zomato or any food app. Even if you go to some other website for the login purpose, you will find out you can log in with Google, log in with Facebook, log in with Twitter. So if you go with that, what is that thing? You click on that link, and if you go to say any website and say, okay, I will log in with Google account, what happens? It will force your section or the URL to Google site, where you put your login and password. And once you put your login and password, it will validate that and it will come back to whatever website you are in, you have started it. So what happens, instead of making so many complement the so many complications in checking the security of the users if they are robot and all that thing, let's Google handle that, and only Google should tell me if the users are good or not. That is also sufficient. And okay, for that I need to pay something to Google or Twitter, but that also identifies the person and I can easily go in. So that is the way the API are the piggyback on their offering. Whatever they are offering, we are just piggybacking on that. Okay, so that is the why API is important. Now, why we are looking for the Twitter? So its limit is 140 characters per post, forces user to be specific, very specific. You cannot write something like Facebook, one page of things. Okay, it has to be specific, small thing. The second thing is hashtag. So it involves inserting a hash sign to denote keywords or other data like location. So using hashtag, you can particularly pinpoint any topic. Like today also, if you open a Twitter, you will find out there will be some trending hashtag in India, because that is the topic currently going on. Maybe something this or that, and it depends on to location or location also. Like in Maharashtra, it may be different. In Telangana or Andhra Pradesh, it may be different. Or if you go to Tamil Nadu, it may be different, because everyone some different. Yes, the COVID and all that thing are the common topic, but there are some in general topics also going on. So parsing Twitter streams for hashtag can yield a wealth of useful data, and that's why we are also going to concentrate on Twitter API integration. So those who are like to work with me in the same seminar, I will suggest you go with this. You log into Twitter API keys, and if you don't have, you create your account from mobile. You can easily create, but you have to come back to the website, because we are going to see one more website, which is a developer website by Twitter. So you have to log in, and once you log in the Twitter, on now they have changed the screen to make it mobile friendly. On the Twitter, there on left side triple dots are there. So in that dots, if you click, you get the settings and privacy. Okay, so you go to settings and privacy of your account and make sure your mobile number and emails are already there, verified. What I mean by verified, you just click on this phone, it will be shown there. If not, you add your mobile number, they will send you an SMS OTP, which has to be verified. If email, again you click there, if it opens, good. Not, you add your email ID and it will send an verification email to you. You have to click on that link which has been provided by Twitter. Once you click on that link, then only this email will be verified. So make sure both the things are verified. Then only we can have the developer account keys. Otherwise, we will proceed, and at one step it will find out the email or phone number is not verified, and it will avoid to proceed further. Okay. So I will again repeat, make sure you log into account and have phone and email ID. Okay. So I will just provide you 2 minutes for that. Go ahead with that, and then we will proceed. Okay. So all of you make sure you have the Twitter account and have this phone and email verified. Okay, so let's wait for just 2 minutes. So hopefully you are done with that. So considering you have this account in you, so let's start the focus on what we are going to consider. Okay. So now once you have the account and the email and the mobile number is verified, you are ready to go to create the developer account also. Okay. So let's generate the developer account. So going back to our PPT, considering phone and email has been verified, let's move on to the creation of developer account and the keys. So for that purpose, we have to visit a website, that is developers.twitter.com. So this is a separate website from Twitter website. Okay. Why I am saying separate? Because this is specifically for developer account or the persons who want to work with the API keys or whatever the stuff that provided by the Twitter for their purpose. Okay, so that is a separate website. It will not be in the Twitter. It will be sorry, it will be separate one. So do open this website. On this website, we have to proceed with the creation of the app. So when I say creation of the apps, is just the app creation which we are going to do with. Okay. So let's go ahead. Make sure you have opened this one. Once you open that, we go ahead with the next one by clicking on create an app. Else, if it is not appearing, there is only apply button, which you just click. It will ask to apply for a Twitter developer account. So once it gives, it is a pop-up, or maybe because some of the versions may be lower in your thing or maybe higher in other thing. Okay, so there will be an apply which you just click on. Once you click on apply, it opens another window which gives and get access to Twitter API and what is the primary reason for using this Twitter developer tool. So as the things, lot of additional requirement Twitter has added, and this was started basically when that analytics problem, that is the Facebook Analytica, Cambridge Analytica problem got occurred. Okay, so they are very much sure to make that there should not be a problem what they are creating. Okay, or the person may not utilize it in wrong way. So you have to go in the same fashion. And once you scroll down, there is an option for students. So whenever you go with this option because it is easy, not to be in worried. Else, if you are building it for some application, if you are working in some company, some research, you can have some other things like teaching and everything. Obviously, the question will change. You have to answer in that fashion there. Because all the questions which we are going to put in, that will also be asked step by step, and that will be also scrutinized using the machine learning algorithm they have. So you should be cautious while going through that also. Okay, so make sure you are doing it properly. Once you have that, you just have to press next, which goes you to the next slide where it is just generalized if everything is right. It is asking, and yes, your name like for me it is PY, for you some other name will appear. You scroll down, you have your own country name India. You give some name to your app and your actual developer account. So like I have given my Python Academy, Py Academy. You can give any other name also. And don't click on this send me product details, because obviously it will send a lot of emails to your this one. So don't add that thing to your machine. Okay, so let it be as it is, open for it. Okay, so it will not create the problem. And once you're done with that, you just press next. So you will be on the next page. And here the one important things is how will you use the Twitter or Twitter data, and that is the main thing. You should be cautious. So in this I have written some words. It has to be 200 characters, and write down very simply. If you make it complicated and if you use some words like I will use for some political gain or something, definitely they will put your account on hold, developer account, not a Twitter account, saying we need to review it more carefully because we are going to utilize it for some political or other purpose. Otherwise, if you write it is just I am a student, like I have written, I am a student of Python Academy and will like to use the tweet on movies to identify the sentiments. about the movies will use the different hashtag to identify different movies and then can identify sentiments as a positive, negative, neutral. Just to make that line broader, 200 characters has to be there. That's why I have written. You can write in your own word, but again, don't fill it with just ABCD, 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 200 words done. No, that will also be rejected by Twitter. Twitter has very good machine learning algorithm on NLP which identifies this thing very well. So make sure you are not making any mistake or playing with that. Okay, otherwise obviously you will not have a key with you. So once you have this, you just click on the next, where you will jump on to the next screen, which is after identification. So if it goes, there are some other also. Are you planning to analyze this data? Will you have used tweet, retweet, like, follow, direct message? Do you plan to display tips or aggregate data about Twitter content outside of the data? These are also very specific questions they have added. And why they have added? Because now Twitter has to be cautious, and just before 2 days you have seen that Twitter accounts has been hacked by some of the users, and specifically of the Bill Gates and Elon Musk, and he collected a lot of bitcoins automatically, and then it has got released. So that collection within say 10 to 15 minutes by that hacker was 95 lakhs. So that's why the Twitter is so precautious about all these things. So within a 10 minutes, if you get 95 lakhs, you can do anything then. But that is the thing how hacker works. Okay, so you just make it no, 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 and then just scroll down to go to the next. So it will, oh, sorry, I just, so it will just say everything is correct or not. You just check it. If anything you want to change, you change it. And if you find out everything fine, you just click on looks good. So once you click on looks good, that is the point where it will ask for some agreement with you, saying that, okay, so you are saying that you are a person who want to work with my API keys, that is specifically my keys. You go ahead the site for again. Okay. Can you please repeat the website again? Website name you want? It is developer.twitter.com. Okay, so that is for Shiva Rama Krishna. Okay, so it is developer.twitter.com. Okay, so you go to that website and start step by step. Second thing I will mention, if you have missed anything here, you just quickly go to our YouTube channel, because their playback is always available. You just scroll back and you can have everything in line. Okay, because this session is going from the Zoho point of view, so that's why it will be directly going up and up. But anything if you want in the detail, you can directly go to our YouTube channel, which the link already has been shared by madam. So once you go into the link, you can play back it, go back and you can listen it again if you are missing anything. Okay, and I will have one session after this where you can ask me multiple questions if you are facing while doing this. Okay, so that will be there. So going back to our topic again, just a minute. So now here, okay, it was is everything is correct. So is everything is correct is from the student personal and all point of view. If everything is correct, you just press on looks good. So at that time, your application will jump on to the agreement side. As I said, the developer agreement will pop up, where you just scroll down at the end and agree with whatever the terms Twitter is saying. Because obviously we want to use the keys, we will agree what Twitter want to say. So we will just click on the yes and make submit application. So once I click on that submit application, then it is again depend on your luck, as I said, because many a times some of you may be on this page, that is you did it, or some of you may have your application under review. Why this happens? Many times what happens, like when I do these sessions in college or something, in college they have a specific IP address fixed through which all of the students connect. Okay, so once it starts getting multiple requests for creating app from single IP, Twitter gets some suspicion that why everyone wants to create the app from this IP, and after creation of 5-10 apps it will stop you, and it will say wait for some 15 minutes, half an hour, and then you create a new app. Okay, so that happens many times. If you are connected with your mobile net, or if you are, all of you must be at home only, not in the college, so everyone will get a good chance that they will have a different IP address, and everyone will have the app in their hands. So that happens depending on what the situation is. But if it happens and if it is you did it, that is great. If everything is fine, you may get this screen. You need to move to your mailbox, that is whatever the email ID you have specified for the confirmation. Else you may get screen of waiting for review. Then you must wait for one more day so that app will be reviewed by Twitter itself. And sometimes it is 1, 2 or 3 days also. It depends on how Twitter goes ahead. Because of this COVID crisis, they are taking much more time, but it is fine. Whatever the time it takes, accordingly you have to go ahead, because that is the way you can go ahead with this. Okay, so as I said again, you can have the playback in the YouTube video, which you can always check whatever the points I have covered. Okay, so it will be easy for you to create, those who are going parallel with me. Okay, those who are just looking at them, for them everything is fine. So you have to check your email. I have provided my Gmail ID only. So I got such kind of mail from them. Twitter developer, verify your Twitter developer account. So once I click on that, in that you have a mail which says confirm your email again. This confirmation is different from the confirmation which we have done on Twitter. Okay, so do make a difference. We are on this side and that side. Okay, so both are the different things. So once you confirm it will get confirmed, and you will jump onto the new website provided by Twitter for the developer. This is just within last week they have developed it very well. And if you got this one, you will get one feedback form also. Since you are an very new customer or a very new developer for us, please provide the feedback. They are making changes in that also step by step. So that is the website which we will drop in once everything goes fine. In that, the type name of the app is the screen which will appear. Here you put the name of your app. Currently I am putting speech to tweet. You can put any. Okay, here I got the spelling mistake also, but okay, that is fine. So your app name has to be some unique name, otherwise it will sometimes avoid to create that. Okay, so that thing also happens. So it is better to have your name and then something else like Anup underscore 123. It is better, or Anup underscore hash 123. It is more better. So whatever the way you take, accordingly the Twitter account will create the keys. Not keys, we have to do a lot of things, but just you click on get keys. So once you click on, you fall down here where you will have 2 keys. In total for Twitter API integration, we have to collect 4 keys. Okay, do remember the 4 keys. Two of them is API key and API secret key, which will be directly available. Again, I will repeat again and again that these keys are very important. Don't share your keys with anyone. Anyone get access to your keys, that person can utilize that keys for its own purpose by putting the tweets, or even can buy something, and so many things are there. So make sure your keys are secret, and that's why they have also mentioned keep them safe. Okay, so for security this will only be shown once. Okay, and again this will not be shown again and again. So once it is shown, there are 2 plus signs. You just click on that. So once you click on that, it actually copies it into your clipboard. Okay, so clipboard it will copy, and that you copy in some notepad, because you should have a deposit of all of them 4. And for that I have said you create a simple I can say notebook. Okay, so simple notepad where you can copy paste these keys. Okay, so there will be 2 keys here which we will get. If you scroll down, there is 4 keys BRR token, but that is not required for our case. For some other application it may be required. So once you fall down on that, you click on skip to dashboard. Now we have to have 2 more keys. That's why we are skipping to dashboard. Okay, so on dashboard we will have now the next thing. Hope you are following everything in line, and if anything is missing, as I say, you play back the videos in the YouTube channel. Okay, so do go to the YouTube channel, subscribe there, and do playback it again and again. So once you click on skip to dashboard, you jump on to the next screen that says, are you sure you have copied this or not? Because Twitter has to be confirmed that you are copied or not, because in the future versions, as Twitter is saying, they are not going to show this again. If you want the keys, you regenerate it again, which may be problematic. So you said yes. If you haven't copied, you copy both of them by just clicking on this plus sign and then giving it to everyone. Okay, so once you do that, you proceed with the next one, that is yes, I saved it. Okay, so you click on yes, I saved it, and once you click on, you go to the dashboard. So on the dashboard, multiple projects you can create to use multiple kinds of keys. Okay, so the one which we will use will be available here, projects and apps. So you just click on project and apps. So once you click on, you will fall down where currently we have only one project, which is speech and tweet. Okay, so that speech and tweet will remain there, which we have currently, and have two tabs, the settings and keys and tokens. Okay, these are the two keys available there. So that is the way the both the keys will be utilized. So in this keys, we will be on the setting page, which is the first page where we have to proceed with. So in this setting page, you just scroll down. Okay, so the scroll downing is done so that you can go down and you will fall down to have the next thing. So let me go for that. Okay, so it got stuck there. So you will be just scrolling down and there will be an option called app permission. So currently in our project, what we are going to do, we are going to speak something and a tweet will appear on our Twitter account. So for that purpose, what we have to do, we have to change the permission from read only to read write. Okay, if you are using this tweet to just accept the tweets from online, then there is no need to go ahead with that. Okay, so if you are not, then this is required. So you just click on edit part, and once you click on edit part, you will have something like this. Okay, options, read write and read write direct message. So in this you click on read write. Now we want read and write permission so that I can write tweets. Okay, and the save part. So once you save it, you will have to change the options which you have created. Okay, so that's why what will happen, the option will get saved and you will come out of the screen which is the edit permission. So while going back, it will ask for a permission. Do you want really to change it? You just said yes. Okay. All these steps has to be followed thus to get the keys. Okay. So you can see the keys is not easily Twitter is giving. Twitter is a big site. Obviously, it will make sure you are doing all this stuff. Okay. So that is there. It is not a simplest thing, but yes. The good thing is you are getting it through directly through the videos and you can also do that. And the recorded version is also available, which you can check from our channel also. The next thing, you scroll down, there is a authentication setting because we are going to use one package which we call Python to connect with this. Okay, so for that purpose we will connect, it is a third party package, obviously written for Python specifically. So to do that we have to connect with this. Okay, so you just click on edit here and there you enable the third party authentication, so it will be also get enabled. So both the things will get enabled, will be ready to be used, and then once you click on that, you proceed further. So once you say enable third party, it asks for multiple things. Out of that, two things are compulsory. One is callback URL and one is website URL. So what it basically asks, what domain, what web application, what Android app, iOS app you want to use this Twitter for. So for our purpose, since we are just doing a seminar, we are not going to develop any big thing. We don't have any domain name. So in that case, what I can do, I can use the domain name http://example.com. So this example.com is actually a free domain available for everyone. So anyone can utilize this for their purpose. Okay, so that is the best thing about the this one URL. So you have to use the same URL. On the same side, there is a callback URL. So what is this callback URL is? So this callback URL is example.com, that is the authentication Twitter callback, which is again a fixed one. So that also you put as it is. Okay, why I am saying that it is a callback URL, what that means in actual, like if you go and log in with Twitter. So once you log in with Twitter, you go to a Twitter website from any website you are working with. You log in Twitter account and then you come back to the same website at some other page, maybe after the authentication. So that URL is also required. So as I said, you fix it as what I have said, the example.com authentication Twitter callback and example.com as it is. So once you have that, you scroll down, other things are optional, so don't take it. and save it directly. So once you save it, you are done with the creation of the third party API integration. So you will be back onto a dashboard of our project Speech2Tweet. Okay, so all of you must be following this step by step what we are to do to come back to the position which we are talking about. Once we come out to this position, we actually go for the next thing, generating two more keys. That is also important to use for our purpose. And what are that? So you click on keys and tokens, that is the second part available, and there you have already you have API keys, so don't click anywhere, you just scroll down and there is two more keys called access token and secret. So these are the two more important. So do remember the key names which we are using. It is API key and secret and access token and secret. So these two secrets has to be there. So you just click on generate. So it will generate two more keys for you. Again, I cannot share that, but yes, you can utilize as per your key and don't share with anything, as I said, because they are important. So again, this, and do remember this, once you close, you cannot have it again. You have to regenerate again and again. So to avoid that, you just click on this, copy paste this into notepad, click on this, copy paste this into notepad in the same sequence. So what you have right now in your notepad, four keys starting from the previous two and then this next two, that is access token and access token secret. All these four keys are very much important, never to share with anyone, and will be utilized for our Twitter integration. That is also you should remember. So that is the way we have made preparation for the API keys. Okay, so I will say yes, I saved them and I will be back. Now the second thing which we have to do is the Twitter and API integration. Okay, so that is the Python file. So instead of installing here, I will show you from the coding point of view. So that are the things we are going to follow. So basically what we are going to do, we are going to see the speech recognition, then we will see how the tweets can be fetched or put in, and as a last we will see how we can have speech to text where I say something and you have the output. Okay, sorry. So let's start the coding for that. So all of you, I will show you the GitHub link where you can download the whole code. I have written the code in IPYNB, so it is in Jupyter file. So if you have the Jupyter already installed, you can utilize there itself. If you don't have, only Python is there, you have to copy paste one by one command into .py file. Okay, so that is the way you can, and the code is written in Python 3. Okay, that is the case. So let us see how I can proceed with that. So let me open the code for the same. So let me share the code for you. Here we go. So that is the code which we are going to use, and that is the link which we are going to use for our purpose. Okay, so I will just copy paste that link on the chat window also, so that you can also download the code directly. Whole code is available. Don't start running immediately. Do understand it. So I will put it here, and I will put on the live streaming also. So this is the code or the link you have to utilize to download the code which is available. Okay, you have to download accordingly and start working on that. I will explain it. Do understand everything, then work on that. Okay, any errors, anything, we will sort it out then. So as I said, anything if you miss, if you join lately or something, there is a Google, sorry, not the YouTube link available. The channel is available. You do go there, have a playback, do subscribe to channel also, and you can see whatever you have missed. Okay, so you can see there whatever you have missed. You can create the keys. You can do other stuff also. Okay. So let me explain the code step by step. Again, I will not run it first. I will explain all the things. Then we can have the running time afterwards. Okay, with you also. Means you can also try it out and I can also go ahead with that. So let me go with the coding part now. So the first thing first, we will require a package for connecting our Python code, which is a Python 3.8 for my case. For you 3.7, 3.6 will also work, using a package called Python. So it is a combination name, Twitter plus Python, Python. So it is again not available directly in your compiler, or even if you have Anaconda installation, it has to be installed separately. So how I am installing it? :pip. So this is the command which works in Jupyter. If you want to install directly from your command prompt, you should have pip, no exclamatory sign is required. Okay, pip install Python. So once you do that, it will start fetching some stuff from the internet one by one, and it will start downloading. Once the download complete, you need to check it if it is done properly or not using from Python import Python, which is the sub package which we are going to use. So once you do that, and if this line runs properly, that means you have the proper connection, or the library which I am telling is properly installed. If you get the error there, then it seems that you have some error or you haven't done it properly. So make sure you connect it properly and have it download properly through the code which I am showing here. Once it is done, what I have done, I have in the GitHub provided one file, API keys.txt. There I have saved my 4 keys, and obviously in GitHub, which you are looking at, the dummy keys are there, which will not work because I cannot share my own keys with you, because everyone will put something on my Twitter account. So that should not happen, and that's why I have given some dummy keys. So once you download from GitHub, you put your own keys there. It is just the 4 line you have to put, nothing else. Okay, and you have to save it. Obviously, that text file need to be saved. So once you saved it, what I have done, I have used my open API keys.txt, and whatever I am reading, 4 lines one by one. Since this session is specifically for speech to tweet, we are not going to explain the Python here, considering you know that. If you don't know, you have to study it, and it has a lot of things which you can go with the different things, or obviously you can join our academy also. So considering you have that knowledge, this is the read line 4 times I am writing, and I am putting all the keys in these 4 variables. So these are the 4 keys we just now generated. Now consumer key, consumer secret, API key and API secret, the name got changed. You can print it also if you want to make sure if whatever you have done is correctly or not. Once it is done, the next part is Twitter is equal to Python, which is a function you call, and pass 4 keys. So once you pass the 4 keys, at this step, actually Twitter will authenticate you saying, are you passing the correct keys or something wrong? And keys are not very small, they are very big with lot of ABCD in that, okay, alphanumeric. So it will be identified, and if everything is fine, you will fall down here. Okay, if you come here without any error, that means your connection is fine. You are able to connect with the Twitter with the given API keys which has been provided by you. Okay, so everything is going in fine direction. So if that goes well, what I have done a very simple thing. I have import random, where I have some random messages. Hello world, hi there, what's up, how it is going, have you been here before, something like that. And I am using random.choice function, which just takes any random value from here, the messages. It is put in square bracket, which stands for list in Python. List is one of the data type. So once I choose any one message, I use one of the function called update status. So what happens in update status, in status which I have passed the message, will be gone to the messaging and will be available on my Twitter directly. Okay, and I am printing it also. So I have done this 2-3 times, and it is available on this also. So how are you, good morning, whatever the message it has selected, automatically it started printing here. Okay, we will have the live session on this also once we start, but let me complete whole thing so you have the idea how the things happen. So that is the way on my website, on my Twitter account, this is my own Twitter account, you will start seeing the messages one by one. Okay, which you will see, yes, it is happening automatically. So if it is happening, that means you are using your Twitter account API to fetch or to send the messages to Twitter. So that is the first success we got, which we have done with the Twitter integration. The next thing is the speech recognition. So how we can do that? So for speech recognition, we need some multiple installation. And again, it depends on system to system, because for Linux and other versions, some other stuff is also available. You have to go through the net also to get the idea for that. So for that we install pipwin, which is specifically for Windows, not to be done on Mac or Linux. And then we install PyAudio package, which is a sub package which is required to identify your speech. Once you install the PyAudio, you install the speech recognition package, which is again, as we have discussed, used for our purpose. Speech recognition is the main package which we are going to use for understanding the speech and go ahead with that. Okay, so that is the main thing we are going to see how to utilize that. So that is the way we are going to use our speech recognition package here. So once you put that, all these three things, what will happen? It will just go one by one to download the package and install. Here multiple lines will start appearing. For me it was already there in some other session, so I just put the commands for your reference. Then we will import the speech recognition as an SR. So I am just giving an alias name rather than writing this big name. And how this speech recognition works is a function recognize speech from mic, which I am calling here. So I will just show you the caller first. So I need to initialize one variable object of the file dot recognizer, which is the object I have created, recognizer. And then in that mic also I have to recognize. So sr dot microphone with device index 0. So automatically my microphone of my laptop will get connected to mic and the recognizer. So both are connected now. Then I call a response with recognize speech from mic as recognition comma mic. So both the things, recognition, which actually converts the audio which is getting into a text, it will using the mic. Okay, so that I am calling. So what happens in this function? Again, this is a predefined function available in its documentation also. Maybe look like complicated, but it is easy. We have the recognition and microphone to call to this function. Function in Python is written as def. Okay, so that is the way how it is written. So if not an instance of recognizer and recognizer dot recognizer means I am just checking if it is an instance or something different. Okay, so recognition must be a recognizer instance, microphone should be a microphone instance. That is just, it should be of same class which we are defining. It cannot be on some different class like other packages provide that. We don't use that. Then we adjust the recognition sensitivity to ambient noise and record audio from the micro, because there are small noises or sounds may come. So to avoid that, we are using the purpose of sensitivity. Okay, so that is also added here so that you can easily understand how the things can be done easily. Okay, so that is also done here. So this is a part of the code only which already available. And then we have with microphone as source, we are using the adjust for ambient noise function which adjusts your noise and then takes the audio with recognition dot listen source. Here itself, when you say any word, it is not the word, even sentence, it's captured here in audio. And then we can see, we can set a response which come up with three things: success, error and transcription. So now we will try recognizing the speech in the recording, and if the request error or unknown value error exception is caught, update the response object accordingly if we get the error or the problem. So we will have the try clause. Obviously exception handling has to be done with two exceptions: request error or the unknown value error. So if request error is there, I will say false and API unavailable, which generally don't happen, but it may say sometime unable to recognize speech if your mic is not properly built in or not properly connection is done. And if everything goes fine, we have the response transcription into recognize Google audio. This recognize Google actually uses, as I said, a predefined Google hard-coded API from the cloud. So once it used in transcription, we have the text which I have said anything. Means if I said anything, it will be available in transcription. So that is the way the things work. So we will capture this into response, and then I am just printing the response. So I have run this also for a time being, and I have printed my response. Say how are you? So when I say how are you, it got recognized and it got printed here. Okay, so we will have the coding of that also as we run, but that is for your understanding. And then the final thing is the combination, and that is a small code but the logical code, because you may know multiple things like recognition, you have the Twitter account and keys, but if you don't put it logically properly, it may be of no use. So while learning any language, including Python, the logic building is also important. So you do have the proper logic also, how the things are happening, how the things can go ahead, or how logically I can write. Okay, so for that I have one playlist also, programming in Quran using Python. That is a very good playlist. You can just check it out, which provides a good idea if you don't know how to put it logically. So here how I have done, I have a temporary string which is empty. It records all is equal to, and while temporary string is not equal to by, I am putting a loop. So when I say by, my loop ends. Okay, because at some time I need to stop. Even Twitter will stop you if you put lot of tweets in a single minute. Okay, so that is there. So it will ask, tell me your tweet, and then I have the call to the recognition from the mic, which if success is there, it will print it that whatever the transcription, and it will pass it to update also if it is not by. Okay, because for by I am not updating, I am just coming out of the loop. And how I am updating, using Twitter update status. So once I do that, good morning, who are you, or how are you, when I said, it got miscommunicated as who are you. So all these messages were put it on this as good morning, how are you, what's up, one by one. And that is the way how automatically the speech which I have said has been converted into a tweet. So that is the way the things have happened. So hopefully you also have all this code and the keys with you. If they are there, we can also test it immediately. Okay, so let's have a testing period also where we will try to run this code. Okay. So let me go back. I don't need to install everything. What I have to do is I have to import something. Okay, so here I am importing file which will be imported. I am utilizing my keys and then connecting to Twitter, and then using the random function which to print a latest tweet onto Twitter. So if I run my this one, it is running and it's tweeted what's up. Okay, so if I go here, you will see the latest here it comes. So here is my latest tweet with just within 6 seconds I have put up WhatsApp. How it is working? Because I have the valid keys, and the valid keys has been passed with the Twitter, and now it has been printed. So the first part I have achieved. Hopefully you are also going in the same direction. If any error or anything, we will have a separate section once we complete this. Okay. The second thing is the installation of audio. So that part is also there. So I will just have my import and the function. Okay, so both the things are there. I will make my recognizer ready, mic ready, and in this the function which I am going to run sorry, in this once the function which I am going to run, it will ask for me something to say. Okay, so I will say some word and it will capture. So I am running that. Welcome all. So it has stopped. It has kept its minute to fraction it. Okay, if you want to increase decrease, you can check this function in more detail. Okay, so if I just check it, I have welcome all which got captured. So that is also done. So you can see the step by step. Always you open up and have the code going on. Okay, don't write all the codes in a single go and then start debugging it one by one. Always you make it modular. You have small step done, second step done, you go with the third step. So let's have the continuous loop. Sometimes this may end up abruptly because of not capturing it properly. May happen. It is not the always case, but that is fine because we are dealing with something runtime. At runtime we are dealing. So it may happen or may not. So that is fine. We will go ahead with that. So let's have the last part of that. Let me run this code. Good morning. Excellent code. Bye. Bye. Okay, so here it got broke up because that by it didn't captured correctly, so it got none, and the procedure was not handle proof to handle the exception, and that's why I got the error. But if you see these two things, good morning and the excellent one, must have been tweeted on my account also. So if I go here, yes, excellent code, good morning is there. So you can see if your code works very fine, obviously you have all the things in your hand. You just go step by step, and ultimately you will reach to the point where the things have been happening. So let's try one more thing. Twitter should not block my account, but let's complete it correctly where it was not an error. Error was there. Now it is not. Thank you. Bye. Oh, so it is still not capturing my bye, but I think this tweet also has come here. Yes, they are already there. So let's say him to understand my bye. So last try. Hello. Bye. No, it is not understanding. Okay, so I need to change this code so that it should stop at that point if it is not able to understand. Okay, but our main aim, which was saying some words and coming it outside, which was achieved here, like thank you, not it is not, and whatever we have said, all are there. And obviously, I can delete this tweet or I can keep it. So last one just appeared. Hello. Okay. So that was the main purpose behind that, where we have an actual thing where we speak it and it comes as a tweet. Now, if I look at this code or whatever things where it can be used, because that is also important. So the code which we are looking at, where it can be used, there are many applications you can think of that, because it is just Twitter. I have said you can connect it to other things like glowing a bulb or going a have an LED of three things. You can have the sentiment analysis of what you are saying, which is available in my video also. So all this, if you combine, there are multiple small projects you can think of, because that can be extended for bigger project also. So it depends on how you utilize this thing, because most of the time what happens, we do the same stuff again and again. Instead of that, if you go ahead with such kind of code, it will be more easy to work on. So going back to our PPT again, so let me go back to the PPT. So just a minute, let me share it. So these are the steps we have talked about. We have generated the code, we have listened the sentences, converted into text, and put it into the Twitter. So all the things has been done step by step. Now going for the some small thing which we provide as a Python Academy. Obviously, it is our academic's seminar. So we have some kind of deliveries like classroom delivery, online delivery, and self-paced instructor videos. Classroom is off because of the COVID, obviously, but you can go ahead with the online delivery where the lecturers, specifically I will be there, no other lecturer. We provide the instructor led training on data analytics with Python. That is the only one topic we go ahead. We have self-help instructor videos also where everything is already recorded. You just go one by one as per your own pace. So both the things of modes has been provided in our academy. You can visit our website also, that is www.pythonacademy.in, where all details you can capture. And the program which we provide as a data analytics with Python is a pro degree program which converts, which has the Python environment setup and essentials, where all the details are provided about Python as a programming language. Data analytics stuff starting from NumPy, Pandas, data cleaning, EDA method, all methods are considered here with some kind of case studies. Advanced data science concept, where basically we talk about the machine learning algorithms, like different algorithms are there. Main 8 algorithms are covered there using the sklearn library. And then we have some R programming also added as an introduction part, because it is required, with some electives and job readiness program, which consists of 5 electives where deep learning, R advanced, IoT application with Raspberry Pi, such kind of thing is provided with resume building and other stuff. So that is the way whole and soul details has been provided for Python Academy. So do connect with us whenever you have the time, so we can provide more detail on that. Okay, so that is the thing we are going to see today. Okay, so those who haven't subscribed to our channel must visit our website Anup Kelkar's Python Academy, where I have put all the things. Do subscribe on the channel. Okay, so that is important. So you do subscribe to our channel, and you will have a lot of videos in the future also. That is the way we are going to proceed with. This was the last part of our section, which was speech to tweet. where we have the reading of the speech. We converted into a tweet text and we posted it live. So hope you enjoyed that, and we will meet soon for the new session also. Thank you.